Welcome to Yoga with Katie. Today we're going to be doing a flow class with emphasis on the core, abdominal muscles, and the legs. So let's come to a comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall. Shoulders relaxed down from your ears, stomach and chest proud. Inhale your arms up above the head. Turn the palm out, exhale down. Deep, deep inhale through your nose and deep, deep exhale through your nose. We never hold our breath. We inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to come down. One last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Take a breath here. We're going to inhale to come to the center and then exhale, bend. Bending the arm, more room to come down. Stretching on the side of your body. Looking up. Inhale, arms up, lengthening in the center. Exhale to the other side. Bending the arm, more room to come down. Both butts should be on the mat. One more time. Inhale, arms up, lengthening. Exhale, bend. See if you can bend a little bit more. Feel the length in the side of your body. Inhale, arms up, lengthening. Exhale, bend. Side body long. Now we're going to slowly come back up, lengthening the center. Exhale, twist. Turn and overlook your shoulder. Look at the back. Turning the neck as well. Stretching out lower back muscles. All twisting position, help you to digest and detox. Inhale, arms up, lengthening. Exhale, twist. Slowly come back to center. We lengthen in the center. Exhale, one more time. Twist. Using the front hand to help you turn a little bit more with each exhale breath. Inhale, come back to center, lengthening. Exhale, twist. Turning the neck as well. Slowly come back to center. And down by your side. Stretching out the neck next. You to shoulder extend the opposite arm out. Using the same hand to guide or support the head. Lengthening, stretch. Release any tension that you may have in the neck. Slowly come back to center. Go to the other side. You to shoulder extend the opposite arm out. Using the same hand to guide or support the head. Lengthening, stretch. Slowly come back to center. We're going to take an inhale, center, exhale, turn overlook the right shoulder. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Come back to center, chin up, head back. And then chin to chest. We're going to come back to center, adjust your posture if necessary. Shoulder stretch, right arm up and across. Pull back, creating resistance. Chin is away from the body, looking forward. Slowly release, same arm up. We lengthen first. Place the palm behind your back. Use the other hand to guide the elbow. Tricep stretch. Chin up, looking forward. If you can bind hands behind your back, go ahead, binding hands behind your back. And release, shake it up. The other side, arm up and across, pull back. Stretching out the shoulder joints. Chin is away from the body, looking forward. And release. Same arm up, we lengthen first. Place the palm behind your back. Use the other hand to guide the elbow. Tricep stretch. If you can bind hands behind your back, go ahead, binding hands behind your back. And release. Shake it out. Hands on the shoulders, elbows in, elbows out. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Feel the pinch in your shoulder blades, opening up the lung, heart, chest. And we're going to slowly, slowly release. Shake it out. Coming into a neutral tabletop. Spread out your fingers. Wrists underneath the shoulder, knees underneath the hip, top of the feet on the mat, neutral spine. Getting ready for cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, chin up, look up into a cow. Exhale, round your back as much as you can. Pull your belly in tight, looking down into a cat. So we're going to do this a few times at your own pace and your own breath. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Connecting your breath with your movement, creating spaces between vertebrae. Cat and cow help people with back pain. 2 more times. One last one. Slowly, slowly come back to center, swaying side to side, release tension in your wrist. Take an inhale to center, exhale, turn over the right hip, squeeze the shoulder and hip together. Inhale, center, exhale to the left, forming a C shape in your spine. One more, inhale, center, exhale to the right. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Slowly come back to center, swing side to side. Coming into arm balance, right arm and left leg out, right thumb to the sky. Back toes down, core strong, lengthening. Once you set up, elbows to knee for 5 times. Go at your own pace and your own breath. When you're done, release. Swing side to side, release tension in your wrists. And repeat on the other side. Left arm and right leg up, reach and stretch. And then we're going to do the elbows to knee for 5 times. Engage your core, looking down to protect your neck. And when you're done, you can release. Swing side to side. Coming down on your forearm, and we're going to go into a forearm plank. Interlace the finger. Elbows within shoulders range. Coming up on your tippy toes. Sliding forward, backwards. Not sticking the butt up. Not sagging. Try your best. Let's do another 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Coming into forearm plank. Bending the left arm parallel to the top of the mat. Make your fist. Bottom leg straight. Top leg bend. Bring the top leg close your body. And we're just going to lift the hip up. Top hand can be on your hip. Try your best. Just be mindful of anyone who has wrist, elbow, shoulder issues. And slowly release. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, use your powerful front leg to lift your hip up, grounding the baby toe of the bottom foot. Top arm up. Staying here for a few breaths. Engage your core abdominal muscles. One more breath. Slowly release. And we're going to switch to the other side. Forearm plank. Bending the right arm parallel to the top of the mat. Make a fist. Bottom leg straight. We're going to ground the baby toe side of the bottom foot. Bring the front foot close to your body. And we're just going to lift the hip up. Do it about 5 times. And just be mindful if you have any wrist, elbow, shoulder issues. And once you're done, slowly release. Come down first. Take a breath. And then we'll lift the hip up again. So we're going to use the powerful front leg and grounding the bottom foot. Lift the hip up, top arm up. Staying here for a few breaths. Once you have enough of it, Slowly come down, and we're going to do some modified push-up. So come on all four to set up. So I spread out my fingers, wrist, shoulder align, and cross at my ankle. Doesn't matter which one is on top. Now we're going to tuck the elbows by our side. We're not flaring the elbows out. Tuck the elbow by your side. Push up for 5 times. Neck and spine in one straight line. You don't have to go very far down. Once you've done 5 times, release. Reverse the cross of your ankle. And we're going to do another 5. So tuck the elbow, close your body. Elbows lower than the shoulders. 5 times. And once you're done, slowly release. Sit back into a child pose. Release any tension that you may have in your wrist. Lengthening the spine. Sinking the hip down onto the heels. And if you have very tight ankle joint, not able to sit back, rest your forehead on stacked hands, stacked fists, or on your block, and try to sit back onto your heels. One more breath, and we're going to slowly release. Coming into a garland pose, squatting. If you need to get up first before you squat back down, go ahead. Toes are pointed out. Try to work the heels down. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the palm together. Use your elbow to push the thigh out. Keeping your neck and your spine in one straight line. Hip opener. When you're ready, we're going to get ready to come up and down. Press firmly. Inhale up, exhale down. Try not to round your back. And be careful if anyone who has knee issues. Two more times. And one last one. Slowly rise up. Arm down by your side, shake it out. Coming into a goddess, stepping your legs about 2-3 feet apart. Toes are pointed out. Inhale the arms up by your chest. Exhale, sink. Slightly tuck the tailbones in to protect your back. Don't push the knee beyond the toes. See if you can get a little bit lower. Inhale up, exhale down. Arms are in T, lounging side to side. So you might want to widen the stand. One leg straight, the other leg bent. Hands on waist, dropping the shoulder in. Slowly come back to center. We're going to get low, so you can keep pressing the palm together. And we're going to get low. If you can, come all the way down. Walking the hands from one side to the other side. Take your time. Stretching out the hamstring. Just be mindful if you have knee issues. This is the last one. Slowly come back to center. Hands on your waist. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to slowly come up to standing. Heel toe. Bring the legs together. Shake it out. Getting ready for forward bend. All 10 toes facing in front, legs to hip width. Take an inhale first. Exhale, hinge. Leading with the hands. When your back is parallel to the floor, release the hands down. If you can touch the mat, touch the mat. If you cannot touch the mat, hold on to opposite elbows. Then go here for a moment. Lengthening the spine. Stretching out hamstrings. Let the blood go the other way for a moment. If you start feeling dizzy, not well, because the head is below the heart, you need to slowly come out of this. One more breath, and we're going to get ready to come up. Hands on waist for support. Inhale, halfway up to flat back. Exhale, to slowly rise up to stand. Once you come all the way up, back bend to counter. Interlace the finger behind. Knuckles down and away from you. Lifting chin up and head back. Shoulders and hips are level. Not pushing the hips forward. Opening up the lung, heart, chest. Helping to improve your posture. Helping people with breathing related issues. Chin up, head back. Stimulating thyroid gland. One more breath. And we're going to slowly release. Shake it out. Getting ready for sun salutation, the cardio portion of the program. So when you're ready, top of your mat, big toes to touch, align the edge of your feet to the edge of the mat. Inhale your arms up, back bend, exhale, forward bend. Inhale halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, hands on mat. Stepping back into a plank. Shifting the weight forward. Beginners can drop to your knees. Tuck your elbow by your side, come down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Shoulders relax. Eyes looking up. Exhale, you can fall back on your knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your hip high up. Coming into a down dog. We're staying here for 5 breaths. Spread out your fingers. Middle index finger facing forward. Separate your feet, 2 fists apart. Not too wide, not too narrow. Your legs are hip width apart. Eyes are looking at your toes, knees or belly button. Now we look between the hands. Step our heart to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway up to flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Slightly bend the knees. Inhale, come back up to standing. Back bend. And then arm down by your side. Into a mountain pose. We're going to keep going. Inhale your arms up, upward salute. Back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, hands on mat. Stepping back into a plank. Shifting the weight forward. Chaturanga all one breath. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take your time to set up. Lifting the hips high up, pushing the mat away. Lengthening the spine, Stretching out hamstrings. Coming into warrior one on the right side. Inhale, right foot forward towards the right hand. Left foot at 45. Squaring the hip to the front, arms up. Holding onto your ball. Palm facing each other. Pinky slightly curved in. Engage your arms. Eyes looking up. Eagle arm, right under left. Big hug. You can stay here. You can lock the elbows, grab a hold of the thumb. Coming into eagle arm. Now don't let go of the hands. We're going to transfer the weight to the front leg. And we're just going to bring the back leg up. Doesn't have to be a high kick. A little bit of a balancing here. Grounding the standing leg and ankle. And we can slowly release. So try your best. And we're going to open up into a warrior two. So back to your warrior stand. Bring your hands to heart center. Arms out in T. Palm facing down. Turn and look at the front fingers. Evenly distribute your weight between the two legs. One more breath. And we go into extended side angle. Right elbow resting on right thigh, left arm up, reach and stretch, looking up. Not putting a whole lot of weight on the front thigh. Slowly bring your top arm over to form one straight line. Form the baby finger to the back heel. Top palm facing down. Lengthening the left side of your body. Release the bottom arm. Holding onto your ball. Slowly release. And we'll come to reverse warrior. Flipping the right arm up. Left hand down the left thigh. Top arm is a crescent moon. Looking up. Stretching the right side of your body. And we're going to slowly release. Coming into triangle. Shorten your stance, swing the hip up. Tip to the front of the room. When you can't go anymore, windmill arms. Right arm down, left arm up. Shoulders stack on top of each other. Both palms facing out. And you can slightly bend the front knee if needed. If you have tight hamstring. Lift and stretch. Slowly come back up. And we're going to pivot the feet. Pigeon toes. Getting ready for forward bend. Hands on weights for support. Take an inhale first. Exhale, we hinge forward. Leading with the chest. If you can touch the mat, touch the mat. Place the hand on the center of the mat. Lining up the fingers with the toes. Release the head down. Slightly bend the knees if needed, if you have tight hamstrings. Just be mindful that hat is below heart again. And we're going to walk right hand over to the left ankle, left arm up, looking up. One more breath. Slowly walk the hands over to the other side. Opposite hand, opposite ankle or opposite leg. The other arm up. Slowly walk the hands back. Take your time to come up. Hands on waist for support. Inhale halfway up to a flat back. Exhale to slowly rise up to standing. And we're going to pivot the feet to face the other side. So we're going to come back to a warrior stand. Front knees 90 degrees on top of the ankle. Make sure it doesn't wobble in or out. This is between the second and third toe. Back leg 45, heel to heel or heel to arch. Arms up, holding onto your ball. Palm facing each other. Pinky slightly curved in. Engage your arms. Eyes looking up. Now we're going to go into eagle arms, so left and the right. Make a cut. Love yourself. Now you can stay here. If you can lock the elbows, grab a hold of the thumb. Coming into a eagle arm. Slide back bend if you can. Looking up. Now we're going to slowly transition the weight to the front leg. Square the hip to the front. And we're just going to slightly bring the back leg up. Doesn't have to be a high kick. A little bit of balancing here. When you have enough of it, slowly release, widen the stand. Coming into a warrior two. Arms parallel to the floor. Palm facing down. Look at the middle fingers. Extend the side angle. Left elbow resting on left thigh. Right arm up. Reach and stretch. Looking up. Slowly wiggle the top arm over to form one straight line. Form the baby finger to the back heel. Top palm facing down. Lengthening the right side of your body. Release the bottom arm, holding onto your ball. Strong arm, strong core. Work the thighs. Slowly release. Coming into reverse warrior. Left arm up, right arm down. Looking up. And then we will set ourselves up for triangle. Shorten your stance, swing the hip out. As soon as you swing the hip out, both legs are straight. Tip to the front of the room. When you can't go anymore, windmill the arms. Left arm down, right arm up. Looking up. Slightly bend the front knee if needed. One more breath. And we're going to slowly coming back up. Coming back to center. So we're going to pivot the feet, pigeon toes again. Getting ready for forward bend. Hands on your waist for support. Take an inhale first. Exhale, hinge. Leading with the chest. When your back is parallel to the floor, slide the hand down your legs. If you can grab a hold of big toes, go ahead. If you cannot, place your hand on any part of your legs. Thumb on the big toenail. Bending the elbows towards the side of the room. Release the head down. One more breath, and we're going to release. Place a hand in the center of the mat first. Take a breath here, and we're going to interlace the finger behind, lifting the arms up to where you're comfortable. Release the head down. Now we won't stay here for too long. Couple more breaths, and we're going to get ready to come up. Release the hands. Place the hand in the center of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Hands on waist for support. Exhale to slowly rise up to standing. Heel toe, bring the legs together. Shake it out. Now we're in our mountain pose. Arms by your side, palm facing forward, soft knees. Shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes for a moment. You can drift forward, backward, side to side. Make a fist. Inhale, shoulders up to your ears. Make it tight, tight, tight. Oh, sign it out to release. Again, inhale, shoulders up. A lot of tension here. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let go. Shake it out. Coming into balancing next. So take water if you need. And we'll work on balance poses. Center of the mat. My left is your right. Heel down first, spread the toes, grab the mat. Same the big toe down, shift the weight to a standing leg. Bring up the other knee, flex the foot. Turn the knee out to the side of the room. Look at the opposite side for balance. Strong arm, strong core. Looking at the focal point that doesn't move. That will help you with balancing. And we're going to slowly bring the leg back to center. You can tap down just to have a break. Hands on waist for support. Extend the leg, point the toes up to the ceiling. Kick it out to release. Shake it out, the other side. Heel down first, spread the toes, grab the mat. Same the big toe down. Shift the weight to a standing leg. Bring up the other knee, flex the foot. Turn the knee out to the side of the room. Look at the opposite side for balance. Working the standing leg and ankle, tall spine. When you have enough of it, bring the leg back to center. If you need to tap down, tap down. Extend the leg, flex the foot. Staying here. And kick it out to release. Shake it out. Coming into our tree pose. All four corners of your foot is pressed down, regardless of whether you're flat foot or high arch. Turn the other knee out to the side of the room. Toe down, calf, thigh, anywhere but the knee joints. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale first. Exhale, rise up. Lengthening the spine. Inhale. Exhale, open up the branches. Shoulders are relaxed. We're not reaching for the sky. Shoulders relaxed. Looking down on the floor or at the horizon. Something that doesn't move. If you want to challenge yourself, look up at the sky or close your eyes. Tall and strong like a tree. One more breath, and you can slowly bring the hands together to release. Shake it out, the other side. Grounding the standing leg. All four corners press down, shift the weight to the standing leg, and we're going to turn the other knee out to the side of the room. Toe down, calf, thigh, half lotus, anywhere but the knee joint. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale first. Exhale. Lengthen your spine. Grow your tree. Inhale. Exhale. Open up the branches. Shoulders relax. Feel the energy within you. Taking the heel into the standing leg. Standing leg, pushing the heel back. Couple more breaths here. And we're going to slowly bring the hands together. To release. Very good. Shake it out. And then we can come sit down to work on seating. Checking my music. Bring the soles of your feet together. Wrap your hands around the ankle. Sitting up nice and tall. Rocking side to side. Finding your sitting bones. Fly like a butterfly. Flap about 10 times. Opening up the hip joint. Draw the heel close to you. Grab hold of the big toe or the entire feet. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward, leading with the chest. Bring the elbows on the outside of the shin. Chin is away from the body, eyes looking forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. One more breath. And we're going to slowly, slowly release. Windshield wiper. Bend both knees. This is hip width. Hands behind you, finger facing the same way as your feet. Dropping the knees from one side to the other side. Let it fall wherever it falls. Now we're going to open up and drop them to one side. Make sure your butt stay down. You adjust the angle. Feel the stretch here. Quad your sub hip joint. Looking at the opposite side. A little bit of discomfort here. One more breath. And we're going to slowly bring everything back to the center. And just windshield wiper a few more times. And dropping both knees to the other side. Open up. Adjust the angle. Make sure the butt stay down. Feel the stretch here. Quad your sub hip joint. Slowly release. Come back to center. Shake it out. And now we're going to come to a wide leg. Open up the legs in a big V. Feel free to use the length of your mat. Point your toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, your arms up, lengthen. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Leading with the chest. Bring the hands down in front of you. Bending the elbows, more room to come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stomach come down a little bit more. Neck is long, spine is straight. There's going to be a point that you can't go anymore. So we're not dropping the head down. Entire unit has to come down. So we have to keep rolling the hip forward. And you're going to feel the stretch here in this thigh, hamstring. One more breath, and we're going to slowly coming back up. Coming into a side bend. Right finger hooking onto right toes. Bring your toes to you. If you cannot touch the toes, hold on to any part of the legs, so release the hand. Bending the elbows, more room to come down. The other arm up, reach and stretch. After you lengthen, we're going to slowly bring the top arm over. Don't worry about touching foot or touching anything. Shine the chest up to the ceiling, looking up. Feel the length in the side of your body. Slowly coming back up. Now we're going to lift the hip off the ground. So I'm going to place my hand close to my body, so I'm facing the right side. If you want to face that side, that's okay too. Grounding into the ankle. Use your strong core and your strong legs to lift your hip up. So you can practice lifting the hip up first. Top arm up if you like. When you have enough of this, slowly release. Now make sure you don't have any issue with your wrists or any issue at all. Now we're going to repeat everything on the other side. So we'll do the side bend first. Bring the toes to you. If you cannot touch the toes, hold on to any part of the legs or release the hands. Bend the elbows. The other arm up. Reach and stretch. After you lengthen, we will slowly bring the top arm over, looking up. Feel the length in the side of your body. Slowly release. Now we're going to get ready to lift the hip up. So I turn my body to this side. My hand is closer to my body. I'm not placing my hand here. So grounding into the ankle. So we can try lifting the hip up first. Engage your core. When you have enough of this, slowly, slowly come down. Bring the legs together. Feel run of wrist rotation in the staff pose. Point and flex the feet. So we do both wrist and ankle joint at the same time. Strengthening the ankles and your wrist. Pumping blood back to your heart. Try to do circle. Coordinate your movement. And go the other way. Slowly release. Get the flesh part out from your butt. And we're going to come to a forward bend. Inhale, your arms up, we lengthen. Exhale, we hinge. Grow longer. Holding on to any part of the feet, the legs, or release the hands on either side. Feel free to use your yoga strap to help you get into the alignment. Chin is away from the body, eyes looking forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, stomach come down a little bit more. Neck is long, spine is straight. Slowly coming back up. Coming into the boat pose, set yourself up, get the flesh part out from your butt. Bend your knees, hands underneath the kneecap, don't lean back too much. When you're ready, lift the feet off the ground. Now we're going to stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, come down, catch your breath. Another round when you're ready. Set yourself up. Come up on your tippy toes, lift off. Don't lean back too much. You can continue to hold on this way, or you can let go. Staying here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Release. Catch your breath. One last one. Bend your knees, come up on your tippy toes, lift off. Now you can continue to hold on, or we're going to roll the boat for 10. Torso turn. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, slowly release. Come down, bounce it out. And we're going to transition to lie down on the mat for reclining poses. So if you want to go down rock and roll, go ahead. And if you need to take water, have a sip of water first before you lie down. If you're doing rock and roll, come to the top of the mat, bend your knees, and we're going to slowly roll forward backwards. Make sure you don't hit your head on the way back. Massaging the entire spine and tie back. When you have enough of this, we're going to slowly release. Take your time to come lie down on your back. Bend your knees, your spine will automatically release. Now we're going to press the lower back into the mat and let go. Press the entire spine on the mat and release. So you end up with a natural curve. So we're going to do it one more time. press the entire spine on the mat and release. Now we're going to keep the natural curve here. Keep your knees bent, and we're going to go into the bridge pose. So if you like to squeeze the block, go ahead. Place the block between your thighs. Walk the heel, close your fingertips. Press firmly on the mat. On the inhale, lift your hips high up. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time to come down. So we're going to coordinate the movement. Inhale, hips up, arms up. Exhale to lower everything down. Go at your own pace and your own breath. We're going to do it about 10 times. Engage your core abdominal muscles, your quadricep, and your glutes. In other words, we squeeze our stomach in tight. Your thighs and your butt are firm, but not to the point of cramping. Strengthening the front abdominal muscles and the lower back muscles. One last one. We're going to stay up here, up on your tippy toes, so lifting the hips even higher up. All the way in the shoulder, very little weight in the head or neck. Chin is almost touching the chest, stimulating thyroid gland as well. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release the heel down. Release the arm back down by your side. One vertebrae at a time, release the spine back down. Once you have come all the way down, we're going to lift the legs up. So place the block between your feet. Flex the feet. Hands behind the kneecap. Staying here for a moment. Stretching our hamstring. Let the blood go to the heart, helping you with circulation, digestion, improve sleep quality. Reach for your toes. So when you're ready, lifting the hand chest up, reach for the toes. Try not to come up with your neck muscles. Use your abs. Let's do another 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Arm down by your side. Take a breath here. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Come back to center. Couple more rounds. Go at your own pace. Coordinate your movement with your breath. One last set. Now we'll come back to center. Keep holding onto your block. Doing 3 rounds of leg lift. First round. Lower down for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't drop it when your legs are 1 foot off the ground. Bend both knees. Lifting the legs back up. Second round. Lower down for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't drop it. Bend both knees. lifting the legs back up. Take a breath here. Last round. Lower down for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't let go. When your legs are 1 foot off the ground, we're just going to stay here. Continue to work your abs, your quadricep. Try your best. We're going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come down first. Catch your breath. Keep your knees bent. Now keep holding on to your block. Don't let go. We're going to come to center. Up. Right. Center. Left. Center. Bend your knees. Come back up again. Go to the right. Center. Go to the left. Center. Bend your knees. Going back up. To the right. Center. Left. Center. Bend your knees. One last set. Up at the sky. Go to the right. Center. Go to the left. Coming back to center. Bend your knees. And bring it all the way down. And you can release your block. Very good. Bounce your leg out. Coming to ride bicycle. So keep your knees bent. Bicycle, you can ride high bicycle. Low bicycle. Now take your time. One knee bend, the other leg straight. You control the speed and the intensity. For further challenge, hands by your ears or behind your head. Opposite elbows, reach for the opposite knee. Let's do another 3, 2, and one last one. Slowly release the head down. Arm down by your side, keep your knees bent. Windshield wiper a few times. Release any tension that you may have. Hip release. Slowly, slowly, coming back to center to release. Straighten out the legs, bounce it a few times. Coming into wind, releasing on the right side, wrap your arms around the right knee. Draw it close to the chest or armpit. Gently pump it a few times. Left toes are facing the ceiling, so both legs are engaged. Massaging organs on the right side as well as ascending colon. Inhale to relax grip, exhale, squeeze. Lifting the hand, chest up, head to knee, lifting the left leg off mat. If you can grab a hold of the right foot, more intensive stretch. Shoulders, neck, upper back and relax. Slowly release the head and the straight leg, coming into half happy baby. Holding on to the big toes, press down so that the knee is close to the armpit. Opening up the hip joint, half happy baby. Be mindful of anyone who has hip issues. From here, we're going to transition to spinal twist. Right foot on left thigh, using the left hand, gently guide the top knee as close to the floor as possible. If you like, you can have right foot on the mat or on the floor. Opposite hand, grab hold of the opposite ankle. Right arm out, shoulder height. Palm facing down. Turn and look at the right side. Hips automatically comes off, so you feel the stretch here. Lower back, strengthening the muscles to support your spine, especially if you have back pain. One more breath, and we're going to slowly release. Bring everything back to the center. Release, balance it out. And we're going to repeat when releasing on the other side. Wrap your hands around the other knee. Point the right toes up to the ceiling. So both legs are working. Inhale, relax the grip. Exhale, squeeze. Now be gentle with your body. No jerky movement. Massaging organs on this side of the body as well as descending colon. Helping you to digest, detox, reduce bloatedness, and help you to resolve constipation issues. Let's lift the head and chest up first. Head to knee, lifting the right leg off. And if you can, grab hold of the foot, go ahead. Make sure you don't carry any tension in your neck, shoulders, or upper back. And then we will transition to half happy baby. So release the head and the straight leg down. If you can, grab a hold of the big toes or any part of the legs. Press down so that the knee is close to the armpit. Hip opener on the left side. From here, we're going to transition to spinal twist. So I'm going to bring the opposite foot down. So opposite hand, grab a hold of the opposite foot. So this can land on the ground. Left arm out. Shoulder height. Palm facing up, palm facing down, doesn't matter. As long as the shoulder blade are still on the mat. Turn over to the left side if your neck is good. One more breath, and we're going to slowly release. Bring everything back to the center of the mat. Straighten out the legs. Bounce it a few times. Bend both knees. Wrap your arms around the knee. Rocking side to side. Coming into a big circular motion if you like. Covering a big area. Massaging lower back and the sacrum. Also helping you to release back pain. Go the other way. And release. We're just going to come to a figure four. Right foot on left thigh, flexing the foot to protect your knee. Slide a hand through the opening, grab behind the left thigh. Right elbow, push the right thigh out. Feel the stretch here, hip flexor, opening up hip joint, helping people to release sciatica pain. Slowly release the other side. Figure four, opposite ankle, opposite thigh. Flexing the foot will protect your knee. Slide the hand through the opening, grab behind the right thigh. Left elbow, push the left thigh out. Feel the stretch here, hip flexor. Opening up the hip joint. Figure four is the modification to pigeon. Same stretch. And we're going to slowly release. Now, bend your knees. Drop both knees to the right side. Raise the right arm. Roll for the right side, coming into a fetus position. And when you're ready, use your top arm to push yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated position to face the front. Inhale, your arms open, chin up, head back. Exhale to close, chin to chest. So we're going to do it a few times. Inhale to open, feel the pinch of shoulder blade. Exhale to close. So both ways, we're stimulating thyroid gland. One last one. Slowly release. Interlace the finger. Gently place it behind your head. Now we're going to very gently pull forward. Don't injure the soft tissue in your neck. Creating spaces between C2 to C7. Helping you to relieve neck pain. Surrender here for a couple more breaths. And we're going to slowly release. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you very much for watching, sharing your energy with all of us, and letting me guide you through this practice. Always my pleasure. Namaste.